Jonathan, nice to see you, man.
Hey, yeah,
welcome back.
You too, yeah.
Well, tell me. Well, let me start off with this. So I know where are you from?
Fort Worth.
Fort Worth.
Yep.
Okay. How'd you find Dr. Cole?
My plastic surgeon was actually doing PRP treatments on my head, and he said, you know what, you'd actually be a perfect candidate for a hair transplant. I said, what in the world is a hair transplant? And he goes, well, you need to call this guy. I said, what do you mean? What's hair transplant? Because this guy got a call. He said, Dr. Cole in Atlanta. So I Googled Dr. Cole, called him up here. I said, yeah, you guys would be a perfect candidate for FUE treatments. And booked my visit. About 3 months later, he came out here.
Okay. Now, did you look at other physicians before you came, or did you just trust that one doctor?
I trusted that one
you
doctor
completely.
Yeah, when I started reading some of the reviews and watching the videos that he had made with different people on YouTube and the testimonials, and I figured, you know, if my doctor said he's the guy and he's got validation and proof, he's got to be good enough for me. So I didn't shop around, I just came straight here.
Awesome.
So,
and as far as I know, you're doing PRP treatments prior. Tell me how was your hair loss affecting you? I know you were wanting to do something to improve the quality. What pushed you to the next step?
you know, I realized that in my mid-30s I wasn't going to be getting it back, and the PRP I think was really only retaining it or helping it stay in. It really wasn't, you know, adding new growth per se. And so when I found out about the FUE as far as transplanting up here and making it more permanent, I realized that was the way to go versus, you know, keeping Band-Aids on, you know, what I was doing versus, you know, doing something more permanent.
Okay. Now, prior to that, were you on any kind of medication?
I had tried the, I guess it was the finasteride for a little bit, in the pill form. I didn't like it, felt a little different. I was doing the over-the-counter minoxidil treatment, the liquid form, but that was it at the time. I wasn't doing anything prescribed by you guys prior to me coming in here.
Okay. So I know when you came in, you had some loss in the front, you had some loss in the crown.
Yep.
As far what were your goals during that time frame?
Really was to maximize as much coverage as I could in one treatment. You know, when I did my original pictures and sent them in, they thought maybe it might be a 2-treatment type of visit, but when I sat down with your father, he was able to do it all in one treatment and really maximize the coverage on it.
Awesome. I know we did around 3,500 grafts. How long did that take?
It was about a day-and-a-half procedure. I think we got 2,800 the first day, and I think on that second day we just focused on the back of the crown. But it was definitely an experience walking through the airport. You know, the shaved head and scabs, and you know, dried blood everywhere. But I actually had 2 or 3 people that had the treatment before kind of walk up to me and just say, "Hey, you know, good luck, you're gonna like it." So I was like, all right, that's nice. Random strangers walking up to me, but you know, walking through the airport with, you know, bandages on my forehead, and you know, it's just something I've never done before, but totally worth it.
How was the TSA screening?
Yeah, they were just like, okay, it's just, the looks you get when you walk through the airport like that are pretty unique. Right. So, but yeah, it was fun. It was an experience. So yeah, something cool to say.
How was the healing process for you?
It went. You know, I took my bandage off. I guess it was the first full day to let it breathe. I don't think I had a lot of bleeding. I think a lot of the scabs were, you know, coming off fairly easily. I think it was the third or fourth day when they want you to shower that you kind of, you know, get in there with the comb or with your fingers. And it was kind of a weird experience because, you know, you sat in a chair for, I don't know, 8-10 hours over 2 days. You spent all this money and time here, and you're like scratching and getting these scabs out. You're thinking, am I just ripping out everything that I, you know, just sat down and had done? But no, I mean, it came through great, and I didn't really have a lot of, I guess it was shedding is a term that's used. I didn't have that until I think maybe the third week. So it was really nice to see my, you know, finished product potentially coming through, you know, soon, if that makes sense. I knew where the line was placed, and I remember looking every day and seeing, you know, 1 or 2 more little hairs pop up. Mm-hmm. And it just slowly started building and building and building, and it was like, okay, this is nice, and it's good. I did the CRP treatment with it, and so I don't know if that, you know, sped it up or how that affected it, but I'm really happy that I did what I did, and, you know, can't recommend it enough to people. I mean, this is a side note. I don't know if this is going to affect anything on camera, but I do want to tell the story. You know, I'm sitting in the chair watching TV while they're doing the procedures, and a Bosley hair commercial comes on. And I asked your dad, I said, does that just bother you that Bosley is running these commercials in your town of Atlanta? And he kind of chuckled and said, no, they're one of our, you know, best customers. And apparently, I guess he sells equipment to them or what have you. So it was interesting sitting in the chair that you're thinking, okay, I've seen Bosley commercials for 10, 15, 20 years, and this guy, Dr. Cole, is the one that's pretty much supplying them their equipment or helping them out or what have you. I thought that was pretty neat.
Yeah. So they, I mean, so it's a good quality tool. Basically, what we offer is the sharpest punch. And what that does is when you're cutting into skin, if it's extremely sharp, it's going to cause less abrasion around the surrounding tissue.
Okay.
So imagine if you were to cut into a steak, and let's say you're using a butter knife.
Yeah.
All that tissue around that butter knife is just going to be stretched and torn, so it's going to limit the healing process. But if you go with something really sharp, you get a finer cut, so when that wound closes, it's not going to be as evident that there's a scar there.
It's interesting because I'm thinking back about my recovery process, and I got on Reddit for the hair transplant subreddit, and I would see people that, you know, go to Turkey or Mexico or what have you, and you see their progress pictures, and a lot of their scabs are really solid and thick, and I really don't think I had anything like that. And it may have been because of the hole punch being so sharp that it was very minimal.
Well, what they're doing is so in order to make target revenue in Turkey, because they charge like $1, $2.50 a graft or something extremely low, they have to do a lot more grafts than patients need.
Okay.
So we're able to create the illusion with a lot less grafts. So we did 3,500. If you were to go to Turkey, they probably did 5,000 to 6,000 grafts.
Oh wow!
But they would have packed them so close that, I mean, they would have destroyed your donor area if you started losing the top. So you had a lot of hair still here, good amount of hair here, and you're just starting to develop that crown shape. After that, 10, 20 years from now, once all that starts to go, you're going to have to start getting into body hair to fill in those areas because they just pretty much destroy your entire donor in one go. So they're thinking of what's going to look good now, not what's going to look good later. So they're building these low, bowl-shaped hairlines, and again, it's just setting up people for failure.
Okay.
So going into what your game plan was, not what's going to look good now again. So we're planning ahead. So if you start to thin out a little bit, you still have plenty of donor, and plus we took it to the next level. We did some A-cell on there, and basically, let's say you did 3,500, like the math easy. Let's say it was 3,000. We expect to see about 900 to 1,800 of those grafts grow back in.
Okay.
So we can use them again, and the reason we're able to accomplish that is because we're doing a shallow incision. Most doctors go about 4 millimeters to depth. We're going 3, so that's still leaving particles behind. And when that stem cell comes in contact with it, the stem cells are building blocks of life. It's able to remold that follicle.
Interesting. Okay.
So
I wondered what that was.
Yeah. So basically, donor management, make sure we're setting you up for success.
Okay. Cool.
Awesome. So tell me about feedback from people. You did a large procedure. It's not like you just. It's not like we did a gradual change. So I imagine everyone, once it all started growing in, started noticing you look different. Was anyone able to tell it was the hair, or did they say, oh, did you lose weight or anything of that nature?
Well, it's funny enough. I probably lost about 40 pounds in the last year. Once I had the hair transplant, I just started feeling better about myself and exercising more. So it's kind of a double-edged sword of, thick hair, less weight, tan. So everyone's just like, oh, you know, you do look different. But the guys that I knew that had thinning hair, they were like, hey, I definitely want to see what your hair is going to look like, because I'm going to have that at some point. So I've definitely got some people that, you know, when the time comes, are going to be coming to you guys.
Well, we appreciate the referral.
Yeah, you guys are the best. I mean, if you're gonna do anything once, like, do it right the first time.
Right.
So that's why I decided to come to you guys.
Oh, appreciate you not doing it the other way and coming to us as a cosmetic cripple. We're like,
Right. Yeah.
What are we gonna do here? Hey, we can get 500 and make a slight improvement, but yeah, typically you do it like you're saying. That's what my grandfather always instilled in me. If you're gonna do something, do it right the first time, because you just end up doing it again.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, with hair, it's not like we can go down to Home Depot and buy more follicles. You only have what you're born with.
Mm-hmm.
So that's great. But as far as feedback though, from I know you said guys said, oh, I want to get my hair done there. But as far as have you got any compliments? How's the dating life?
Well, funny enough, I am actually going through a divorce, and the dating life is actually fun with the hair. I mean, it's they love to rub their hands through it, and, you know.
Well, I'm not sure I'm allowed to publish that till after the divorce.
That's fine. That's fine. But no, they do like it. I told them, yeah, you know, I'm going through a divorce. You know, I got a hair transplant last year, and they're like, what is that? And I tell them, and they're like, your hair looks great and thick. And I'm like, yeah, you can rub it all you want to. It's fine.
Nice. Is your wife regretting now that you have new hair?
Not yet. I'm sure she will say. Not my problem anymore.
Yeah. Nice. Awesome, man. So you're here today. We're doing a regenerative treatment, and we're doing some maintenance.
Yep.
Okay. So that treatment should last you for the next 9 months, and it's going to start dropping off. I know you were doing PRP back before you did the transplant, just kind of maintain. We're hoping to maintain. What year was your procedure? Was it 2021 or 2022?
It was May of 22.
May of 2022. So we're in August 23. So your results from that CRP have faded. So this treatment is going to give you 50% boost in that, and probably around 6 to 9 months, we can bring you in for a hair check and see how you're responding to that treatment.
Okay, perfect.
See, regenerative medicine is not an exact science. It may work this time, but if we keep doing treatments, there's going to be other things targeting your hair loss. So we may have to explore things down the road like exosomes or amniotic membrane, or like that TED dutaster I was talking to you about.
Okay.
So just different components based on your hair check numbers.
Perfect.
So it's exciting.
I'll be a repeat, regular, customer, guinea pig, whatever you need. Yeah.
Awesome. Anything else I may have not covered that you'd like to add?
I mean, it was a life-changing procedure. I mean, I feel much better about myself knowing that I have hair. I felt better enough to start working out, and it was almost like a snowball effect of just getting better and better and better, and confidence, and knowing that I'm going to have hair for the next 20-30 years versus it being all gone in 5 years had I not had the procedure. I feel more youthful and confident and happy, and totally worth the investment to do it.
Awesome. I know you you're on a medication as well. Can you tell me a little bit more about the medication? How are you using it? Have you seen any results?
I'm doing I believe it's the finasteride minoxidil topical that you guys prescribed. I haven't noticed any results in that. I haven't noticed any more growth. I haven't seen any hair loss. But since it's still relatively new, I guess a year old, and it's thick, I think it's helping maintain it. I mean, I don't see patches of hair falling out or anything like that, so I would imagine that no news is good news.
Right.
Right?
As far as the Bill, I know we dropped this hairline a little bit too.
Uh-huh.
So when you apply the topical, it's mainly focused on areas where the existing hair is.
Okay.
And also you did it at the same time as you transplant.
Okay.
So just to say the difference between the hair transplant as well as the topical, which was which as far as existing hair and transplanted hair. But you've been on it for about a year, and that's typically when the results maximize. So at this point, it's just maintaining what you got.
Okay, perfect.
Awesome, man. I know. So as far as life changing, you're more fit, you're more active,
Happy,
confident. I mean, what more could you ask for, right?
I mean, you've got a great staff too. I mean, everyone that works here that I've seen now versus a year ago, they all remember me and I remember them. And Southern hospitality is a real thing, so I'm really happy that I came here.
Awesome, Jonathan. Well, awesome, man. I think that kind of concludes everything. I appreciate you coming back down, man. It's freaking awesome to have you here. Thank you for doing this. I know we're going to knock out those injections here in the next hour, and then from there, my daddy's going to sit down with you, kind of go over what's going on with you, and then maybe we'll do a second interview with him talking about what he sees and whatnot.
Love it.
Awesome, man.
Give him a call. They're good.
ForHair is run by Dr. Cole with 30 years of FUE hair restoration experience, and we offer the most cutting-edge technology available. In fact, the ForHair Enterprise sub-company Cole Instruments manufactures custom-made tools and automated tools for hair restoration physicians all over the world. Our quality, expertise, and skills are superior to other clinics. Our reputation and results are the best in the world. It's time to restore your hair. It's time to choose ForHair.
We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to hit the little bell button to get notifications of ForHair's video uploads. For online consultation, click on the link on the screen or in the video description.